Have you ever felt it? That sudden, sweet ache for a time that's gone, a phantom limb of happiness that you can still feel but can no longer touch. It might be triggered by a forgotten melody drifting from a passing car, the scent of rain on hot pavement that transports you back to a childhood summer, or the discovery of a faded photograph tucked away in an old book. In that moment, the past doesn't just feel real. It feels more real, more pure, more whole than the life you are living right now. You find yourself whispering to your own soul, "Those were the days. If only I could go back." But have you ever dared to ask yourself what you are truly yearning for? Is it the past itself, or is it a beautiful, sacred illusion your own spirit has woven for you? This pull, this divine nostalgia, holds a secret about your present and a key to your future, if you are brave enough to turn and face the truth. If this message resonates with the deepest chambers of your heart, let your spirit guide your fingers to like and subscribe, and share in the comments the words, "I am ready to awaken," so that we may know we are on this sacred journey together. A great pioneer of the human psyche, William James, once offered a profound spiritual truth. Our minds do not record the past like a cold, unfeeling camera, capturing every flaw and every mundane detail with objective precision. No, the soul is not a machine. Your memory is a divine artist, an impressionist painter who uses the broad, sweeping strokes of emotion to capture not what was, but what it felt like. It paints with a palette of joy, sorrow, triumph, and tenderness, creating a masterpiece from the raw material of your existence. Think of your life as a vast, chaotic documentary, filled with endless hours of footage. Your consciousness, acting as a master editor, cannot possibly retain it all. For the sake of divine efficiency and the conservation of your soul's energy, it must choose what to keep. It trims away the endless, unremarkable moments, the long stretches of uncertainty, the quiet hum of the ordinary. Instead, it highlights the dramatic peaks and the poignant valleys. It smooths over the inconsistencies, the moments of self-doubt, the times you were less than you wished to be, creating a coherent, compelling narrative. This is why a single, sun-drenched afternoon from 20 years ago can feel more crisp, more vivid, more alive in your mind than the entirety of last month. That single moment was infused with a powerful emotional frequency, a vibration that left an indelible imprint upon your soul's tapestry. William James called this the stream of consciousness, a never-ending flow where only the most emotionally charged moments rise to the surface like shining stones in a riverbed, leaving a lasting and sacred imprint on who you have become. This spiritual editing process gives rise to a phenomenon known as the positivity bias, a sacred alchemy that transmutes the lead of our past struggles into the gold of wisdom. Our soul, in its infinite compassion, seeks to protect us. It takes the moments of pure, unadulterated joy, the significant achievements that made our spirits soar, and even the profound hardships that we thought would break us, and over time, it bathes them in a soft, romantic light. The sharp edges of pain are softened, the sting of failure is lessened, and the relentless monotony of daily struggles fades into the background. The memory of a grueling first job, filled with daily anxiety and the fear of inadequacy, is slowly transformed into a heroic tale of resilience and character building. The heartbreak that shattered you is later remembered as the sacred wound that opened you to deeper compassion. This is your spirit's gift to you, a way of creating a personal mythology that gives you strength. It allows you to believe that the past was a simpler, better time. But here lies the divine paradox, the hidden danger. When we take this polished, idealized, and airbrushed version of our past and hold it up against the raw, unfiltered, and often messy reality of our present, we inevitably create a vibration of deep dissatisfaction. We begin to chase a ghost, a phantom of happiness that never truly existed in the pure form we remember it. We are chasing a story, and in doing so, we risk missing the life that is unfolding right here, right now. This is where the wisdom of another great soul explorer, Carl Jung, becomes crucial. He invites us to look deeper, to perceive the spiritual message hidden within our nostalgia. He believed that this intense longing for the past is often not a simple recollection, but a powerful message from our unconscious mind, a signal from our higher self. When we find ourselves desperately wishing to retreat into the perceived safety of yesterday, we must ask, what is it in our present that we are trying to escape? Nostalgia often becomes a sanctuary when we are faced with the sacred challenges of growth. The process of individuation, of becoming the whole and authentic person we were destined to be, requires us to face uncertainty, to embrace change, and to navigate discomfort. It is in these moments of transition, when we feel lost or disconnected from ourselves, that the past becomes a seductive siren, calling us back to a time when things felt more stable, when we felt more protected, when we didn't have to bear the full weight of our own choices and responsibilities. Our longing for the simplicity of childhood might be an unconscious refusal to embrace the complexities of our adult power. Our idealization of a past relationship might be a fear of the vulnerability required to build new intimacy. Jung saw this as an unconscious trap. By clinging to an idealized version of who we were, we are actively resisting the divine call to become who we are meant to be. We are avoiding a deeper, much more significant struggle, the courageous act of evolving in the here and now. But what if this tendency goes even deeper than our personal psychology? What if it touches upon the very core of our existential reality? The thinker Ernest Becker, in his groundbreaking work, proposed a bold and unsettling truth. At the heart of much of human behavior lies a deep-seated, often unconscious, fear of our own mortality. Our existence is fleeting, and this truth can be an overwhelming tempest for the soul. The human tendency to idealize the past, he argued, is not simply a longing for better times. It is a profound defense mechanism against the present, which constantly, relentlessly reminds us of our own fleeting existence and the unstoppable passage of time. The past, in all its simplicity and nostalgic glow, feels finished, permanent, and secure. It represents a time when things felt more concrete, a sanctuary from the unpredictable and fragile nature of the present moment, which is always in motion, always changing, always moving towards an unknown future. This existential uncertainty can feel unbearable. So what do? We retreat. We escape into a past that appears unchanging and fixed, a mental landscape where we feel a sense of control. We deny the flow of time itself in favor of a static, perfected memory. We cling to these old versions of ourselves, resisting growth, because growth requires us to face the uncomfortable truth that we are no longer who we once were, and that the person we are today will also one day pass away. This denial of time is, in essence, a denial of life's true nature. It is a refusal to engage with the sacred universal law of impermanence. So how do we break free from this beautiful yet binding illusion? How do we honor the river of our past without drowning in it? The journey begins with a radical acceptance of the present. It begins with the courage to see this moment not as a pale comparison to the past, but as the only true moment we have. This requires an unwavering awareness of our own impermanence, a willingness to sit with the discomfort that comes from knowing we are not invincible, and that nothing in this physical realm lasts forever. Yet, paradoxically, it is within this very acceptance that lies the freedom to live fully, to embrace the present in all its raw, untamed beauty. We must stop chasing the illusion of a perfect, unchanging past and begin to truly inhabit the life that is right in front of us. This is not about forgetting the past or dismissing its importance. It is about transforming our relationship with it. Instead of an escape, the past must become a source of wisdom. We must learn to revisit our memories not as a tourist in a museum, but as a student in a sacred library, ready to learn the lessons they hold. It is only by facing the discomfort of the now that we can begin to unravel the grip of nostalgia and truly, authentically live. Confronting the present means confronting our own vulnerability. The past, however we choose to remember it, gives us a sense of control. It's a story whose ending we already know. The present, on the other hand, is alive, unpredictable, and real. It requires us to adapt, to grow, and to accept the inherent uncertainty of existence. This is where Becker's profound theory ties in so deeply with our spiritual psychology. The more we deny the present moment, the more we are denying our own unfolding reality. We become trapped in a relentless cycle of fear, constantly trying to outrun time itself. The key to breaking free from this denial begins with that radical acceptance. To truly grow, we must learn to embrace the divine fluidity of our own identity. We must understand that who we were in the past is just one chapter in a much larger, sacred story that is still unfolding with every breath we take. The person we were yesterday no longer exists, and the person we were 10 years ago is but a shadow of who we are today. To truly move forward into our destiny, we must release our attachment to that idealized self and embrace the profound authenticity of who we are right now, imperfect, evolving, and beautifully alive. Carl Jung believed that we each carry within us two versions of who we are: the real self, grounded in the ever-unfolding present moment, and the idealized self, shaped by the sacred artist of our memories, our deepest desires, and our most hidden fears. This false past that we construct, this story we tell ourselves, is often rooted in a deep spiritual longing to see ourselves in a light that feels more complete, more fulfilled, or simply more acceptable than our current reality. The more we romanticize our past, the more we create a painful dissonance between who we actually are today and who we imagine we should have been. But here is the catch, the crucial spiritual insight. This idealized version of ourselves, this ghost built from fragments of memories and dreams, is not who we truly are. It is a mask, a projection of what we wish we could have been, rather than an honest reflection of our lived experience. And when we compare ourselves to this constructed image, we are measuring our present reality against an illusion, against a version of ourselves that never truly existed. We look back and tell ourselves, "I was happier then," or "I was more confident then," but in doing so, we forget that the person we were was just as flawed and just as uncertain as the person we are now. The danger in clinging to this false past is that it prevents us from fully embracing who we are today, right now. When we constantly measure ourselves against an idealized version of the past, we can never fully live in the present. We are forever trapped in the idea of a perfect self that we can never reach, which creates an ongoing sense of dissatisfaction, self-doubt, and disconnection from our own divine essence. This false self, this ghost of the past, keeps us from seeing the ultimate truth, that we are beings of constant evolution, always changing, always becoming. Imagine you are looking back at a time when you felt on top of the world. Perhaps it was a moment of great achievement, a period of profound love, or a phase when everything in your life seemed to fall perfectly into place. Now, in the present, you might feel disconnected from that person you were. You might wonder where that vibrant, confident version of you went. But what if the person you are yearning for is not an authentic representation of your past self, but rather a divine projection of what you wanted that self to be? What if the same energy, the same joy, and the same confidence that seem so distant are actually dormant within you, waiting to be awakened in a new form, in this present moment? The key to healing and moving forward is not to keep looking back at an idealized version of ourselves. It is to recognize that the present is the only place where real, authentic growth can ever happen. The past, with all its glory and all its pain, is a memory. The future is an unknown horizon, but the present is the sacred ground where we can truly create, become, and experience life in its fullness. So let go of the false past. Let go of the illusion of who you were. And with all your heart, embrace the person you are now, imperfect, evolving, and beautifully, powerfully alive. It is only when we accept the reality of who we are today that we can truly begin to shape the divine future we desire.